Good morning. I'm Taylor Gray. I'm a senior at Indiana University East, and today I'm going to be talking about my research paper on plea bargaining. So, first off, what is plea bargaining? So plea bargaining is the process by which an individual who is charged with a crime pleads guilty, by getting a bargain. So, a criminal defendant will get offered, for example, a deal by a prosecutor, and the prosecutor can say, "Hey, instead of potentially going to trial and getting up to 25 years, you can take a 5-year prison sentence by pleading guilty." So essentially, it's the individual getting a lesser charge than what they would have potentially if they went to trial. So, what are some of the pros and cons here? So there's pros and cons on really both sides. So the pros and cons on the defendant's side. One of the pros could be the sheer expedience. So if you are guilty, you plead out, you get charged really quick, and the process is essentially done and over with, and then you go on to deal with whatever punishment you've got. On the other side, some of the cons could be that the individual feels pressured into pleading guilty, even if they aren't. Throughout this course, we've seen videos from PBS, for example, where this sort of thing actually occurred. And then moving on to pros and cons for the prosecutor. So one of the pros is the exact same thing, right? So the goal of the prosecutor is to get a guilty plea and get the case moving, because they have a job, right? So the more charges, the faster the process goes, the better for them. And really there are no cons for the prosecutor, realistically, because they're getting their job done and they're moving cases along. So with that being said, plea bargaining is it's an interesting thing, because when you look at not even social media, but social media does play a part in that, but mainly TV shows. So like if you look at a TV show like Law and Order, any of those TV shows, if you watch them, you would think that plea bargaining almost never occurs. You would think that every single case goes to trial, and that's rarely the case. Over 90% of all cases end in a plea bargain of some sort. So there's that, and mainly in my paper, I wanted to cover kind of how much power the prosecutor has in this process. The prosecutor has a tremendous amount of power in this process, right? So they can essentially get the punishment for the defendant that they want, based on leverage. They could literally just give them what they feel is the deserved punishment, which may not even be lesser than what they would get in trial. And not only that, but when you go to trial, the prosecutor rarely goes for the maximum punishment. So when they say up to 20 years, it really is up to 20 years. It could be up to 20 years, but rarely would it actually go up to 25 years or 20 years. So yeah, in doing the research paper, I learned quite a bit. Plea bargaining is a very interesting and I would say controversial thing, and it's just one of those proving grounds where I think that the criminal justice system does need some overall and some fixes in very specific areas. But overall, I enjoyed writing the paper, and I enjoyed the class. Thank you.